That's right. Like I said, we are back. We are back at 301 North Main Street in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, at the lovely EBS Executive Suites on the 24th floor. Hey, look, y'all. I just gotta be real with y'all, straight up. I am super geeked. I am super geeked. If you don't know who this is, you need to know. You need to know her. You need to get to know her. I'm telling you, like, I'm super geeked. That's all I'm going to say. I ain't going to say nothing else. I'm going to wait for the interview. I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chisa Penix Brown, and my company is Lady Business. I'm based in Greensboro, North Carolina, and North Carolina's #1 small business facilitator. I help people to start and stay in business and to grow everything that they are doing online. So I always tell people I like to help you show up and show out online.
That's right. That's right. Hey, I'm telling you. grind ain't even the word right now. She has been everywhere. And when I mean everywhere, she has events. She shows up to other events. She puts together like packages like to help you grow. Then it's not all work. She done been over the derm to the where was Maxwell at?
Art of the Cool.
Art of the Cool. She was over at where other event was that? Big Boy.
Oh, definitely a Big Boy. That was my birthday.
Big Boy. I mean, like, it's like business and then just hip hop, but everybody respects her.
Yeah.
This is it. That's why I'm geek.
Well, that's good. No, but you got to realize hip hop is business,
that's
and
right.
I think that when you come from a certain generation, and it's so funny, especially with this current time, with this whole king of R&B kind of conversation that's going on, and somebody is honestly losing their mind right now.
Who? Who is it?
The person that claims that they're the king of R&B. I'm not even going to give him he's not even going to get the name that he's what his real name is. I'm going to leave that alone. But I think that it's an energy that comes from it, and so I'm from New York. So being from New York definitely gives you a different perspective on things, and I think that I've always been in that kind of hustler mentality thing because I never really wanted to work for somebody else.
Gotcha.
And I think the other thing, like even with hip hop, is creating your own lane. So if you don't see something that you want, it's your responsibility to either travel to where that thing is or to create it yourself. And so that's one of the things that I think definitely makes my business successful, but also in listening to what other people say that they want, it helps me to continue to be creative. And hip hop is definitely one of those things that has always evolved. So, when I look at that and I look at the people that are older than me in hip hop and see the things that they're doing now, some of it was out of necessity, but then it's just out of growth also. So, it goes hand in hand. If you're really going to be good at something, then you got to hone your craft.
That's what I'm talking about. So, you gave us a little bit of the past. You gave us some of that. I want to know right now, as far as business-wise, like what do you do as far as when it comes to helping out folk to grow?
Well, the biggest thing I think is for people to really analyze what they're doing now. So what's working? Are you actually started, or is this something where it's just a thought process? So let's go from the basic. If I'm going from the basic, where a person's like, I think I want to start a business, my first thing to them is always, well, you need to say you're in business. Because when you say I'm thinking about, I'm kinda, I might, it doesn't give that same level of confidence when you say I am in business. I own this. I am the whatever it is, CEO or the creator or the founder of something. Gotcha. So I think that mindset needs to be there. Then when you say, okay, well, I am in business. All right. So, are you making money? Because there's plenty of people that are in business but are giving away their services.
True.
Not charging enough for what they need to be charging for, you know? And so when you look at the expenses and you look at what you're actually bringing in, that has to make sense. One needs to be higher. And I'm not saying that, you can't start out small and grow it, but I am saying that you need to be pulling in some money. You can't do everything for free because it's not a business thing. Now, if a person is already in business and they're kind of doing well, then the thing is really, in my opinion, the marketing is always what's lacking. Like, you can always market better. You can always learn something new. You can always either, pay somebody to do something to help you or learn how to do it yourself, but it has to be some consistency that's there. So that's usually where people find themselves at. And so I think for me, the people that I work with the best are probably people that have already been in business a year or more, and they recognize that they need to learn something else in order for them to be able to grow their business.
Gotcha. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and segue first into the Spitfire round.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So who is the king of R&B then?
Oh, so why you? I didn't think you were going to go there. All right, so the king of R&B, if we're talking about somebody that's alive, I am going to have to go with R. Kelly. I know R. Kelly has his own little personal issues, but I'm sorry, I still love R. Kelly. I do.
He's a great producer.
I mean, when you talk about producing, when you talk about selling, when you talk about being able to reinvent themselves, different types of music, being able to cross genres, I still have to go with R. Kelly. If you're talking about somebody that's past, though, I'm going to have to go with Prince. And I think the biggest reason is because Prince has also been able to the voice, the level of being able to play all the different instruments, the mood. Because you can't tell me when Purple Rain comes on, you don't feel like you got to stop. You know what I mean? You can't. I mean, it's just so many songs. And it's like you don't realize how great he was sometimes until a person sits down and plays that discography. And it's like, it's so many. So, I'm going to have to go with alive, still R. Kelly, deceased, I'm going to have to go with Prince.
That's what I'm talking about.
And, I mean, who else is wearing their cheeks out either? So, nobody's doing that. I mean, that was a lot. So, I mean, and the ladies still love you and the dudes are still like, go Prince. If you could do all of that, it's got to be Prince. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so as far as entrepreneurs or people you might look for advice or you may look to as far as like who are other business developers and stuff, who would somebody would you look at like that
I'm looking at for inspiration?
Yeah.
I look at people that are in the same similar type of situation, but they've done stuff that is not exactly the same. So I look at typically black women that I know that are actually self-made, and they really are self-made. Not somebody gave them $1 million to start, and but are really shady boots all the time. Yes, we have a T-shirt that says Petty University.
Oh,
so
man.
I mean, yes, but a person that's really self-made. So one person that I look up to is definitely going to be Tiffany Alashay of the Budgetnista, because I remember when she started, and then to be able to see where she's been able to grow, she's always a good reference. And I would say recently, I would say Sharice Jones of Sassy Jones Boutique, because I know where she was a year ago, and then I'm able to see the transformation and just see the branding. And I think that, those are the types of women, when I look at that, they're in that same age bracket where they're 30 to maybe 40 years old, and they're being able to not just transform themselves and their money, but the community that they serve and the people that are around them. And that makes a big difference from being able to go from a person doing stuff on the humble for you to being able to now pay a full-time publicist.
Gotcha.
Like things like that make a big difference. And so both of them invest a lot in their brands and in the communities that are online that they serve, and then also the communities in real life that they serve. So I'd have to go with the two of them.
Excellent. Let's see. Drew a blank because I was thinking I don't know none of those people that you just named off, so I guess I'm gonna have to look them up.
Yep, look them up.
I gotta look them up.
But that's good. You gotta get a little educated sometimes, because you know what? It's people out here, until mainstream media puts them on the thing. That doesn't mean okay. So if you want somebody that's more mainstream, then what I would go with was Super Scent. So Super Scent that just went ahead and made that $1.2 million in 90 minutes on Black Friday. That would be somebody else too. Self-made. She used to be a what do you call it? A waitress, you know, and then now has her own brand and from New Orleans. So, you know, and not even to, you know, just to go a little bit further with her, she just made the Guinness World Records because of the amount of toys she was able to give out for Christmas this past weekend. So not only making money, but then also taking things and being able to give back to the community. So I think that, like, you know, one of the things that I said when I passed, you know, when I'm off this earth and it's just the essence left, is that I want to be a philanthropist. So being able to give to other people makes a huge difference. It's not like you're just taking, or not like you're just saying, pay me, buy from me, see me. It's like I'm also giving to the community as well.
So it's definitely on a narrative tip.
Yeah.
For that. Excellent. Well, and I know this is going to be a very, because I know you're laser focused. So I guess I want to say, what's your first and second quarter look like? And I already know the first quarter you have Year of the Pig.
I do have Year of the Pig.
Year of the Pig. I'm going to be there. If I can't make it, I'm going to have to just go ahead and take the day off to make it.
Okay, it's at night. You don't have to take the whole day off.
Oh, so I don't have to. Okay,
no,
cool.
it's only 6 to 8. You got plenty of time. Go to work and then come to Year of the Pig. Yeah.
Year of the Pig. I know that. So what else do you have planned, I guess?
So, to be honest with you, I have my whole 2019 planned out. I try to do my contracts in advance, so I do a lot of stuff a year in advance.
Gotcha.
So, you know, when people are asking me things like that, I have to find the times that I'm not available. So, I think the biggest thing, even though business is a priority, one of the things that me and my husband made to me a priority in the business, but also in the personal relationship, was we take a minication. So at least once a month, we plan in a time where it's just us. We just go somewhere, and we do a minication. So it's never going to be more than 5 hours away from here, but it's within a certain distance. Good. And that's the time when you are not working.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's the thing to really make sure of putting into your life. So to me, prioritizing that in alignment with what's happening with the rest of the business stuff, because I think that's an important thing.
Gotcha.
To have time off.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Because, like, you know, I don't know if anyone knows the whole story about how the Pop-Up Podcast actually began. So I actually quit a job. I actually quit 2 jobs because I actually was offered a position at another job, and it actually cut my hours down to where I actually have a weekend off now.
Okay. And
then I also had the time to still produce shows, because I knew that I still wanted to produce. I still wanted to do stuff, because I have a pretty good talent for it. And I was like, hey, now that I have this time, I've actually found myself a little bit happier to, you know, go to the house and not think about production work instead of me working 60, 70 hours a week. And then it's like, my girl's still like, hey, I want you to spend time with me. And so,
but you got to do that. I mean, like, if you want to have and it's not even just for your relationships, it's also for yourself. Like, you can work yourself to death. And the day that you're gone, okay, did those people miss you? You know, and I'm not saying that people wouldn't miss you, but I'm just saying, you know, I think you owe it to yourself. And one of the things, like, I told people was, like, what's your marketing mantra for next year? Or you could say your business mantra. Yes. And mine is that my business deserves to be seen. So if that's the case, then I still need to make time for my personal life, because I deserve to be able to relax and rejuvenate so I can give what my business needs. Definitely. So, you know, I deserve to have time off. I deserve to put in my all when it's time to go to work and go do that. So I think that just knowing if you want certain things, you know, you have to put that effort into it, but you also need to rest.
That's what I'm talking about. So last question. Favorite rap lyric?
I sneak a Uzi on the island in my army jacket line and hit the earth like a common invasion. Nas is like the Afro-Centuasian, half man, half amazing. There you go.
Hey. Where are you going to find anybody else who does that?
Yeah, that's like my favorite.
That's it. Show's over. Go ahead and hit everybody with the social.
Bye, y'all.
Like,
look,
literally,
right?
the show's over. Like,
so the social is Lady Business. Everything is Lady Business. LADYBIZNESS. The website is ladybusiness.com. It's on Twitter. It's on Instagram. And then I also started my personal brand in October. And so that's Chisa Penix Brown. So if you want to follow that on Instagram, it's CHISA PENNIX BROWN. And please please, just follow. I follow back, and I definitely like to engage with people. So leave a comment. Let me know that you heard me on the Pop-Up Podcast. And hopefully you'll be hearing me sometime soon, too, because I do have my own podcast called Give It to the People. And we're relaunching that in January. So that will be something that's specific to quarter one. And so we're doing a lot of like recording now so that this way then we'll, stagger out the episodes next year. And we already have, I don't even know how many right now, but I think it's at least 5 episodes that are already recorded. And then we'll be dropping those in January. So some new ones coming out, but just looking forward to a great year. And I could tell you something else that nobody else has heard yet.
That's what I'm saying. Hey.
If you need a little exclusive, every year I come up with a word of the year.
Exclusives.
And so my word of the year for 2019 is prosperity. This year it was opportunity, but prosperity is for next year. And so I want everybody to make sure that they have a prosperity with their mind, with their business, with their relationships. And so prosperity doesn't necessarily mean money, but for you to be prosperous in those things. And so prosperity is the word of the year for 2019. And your audience gets to hear it first.
That is what I'm talking about. We have an exclusive.
There you go.
That is it. I really don't have nothing else to say. I really don't. But I have to close out the show anyway. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. So Promise Mangum, Pop-Up Podcast. Hey, like I said, some people could record earlier. Unfortunately, I got to put all the work in right now. But, hey, that's what it is. Hey, 2 weeks until 2019. Mm-hmm. And got a lot of stuff popping off. But that's what it is. Promise Mangum for the Pop-Up Podcast. See y'all in a little bit.